Well, animal rights activists are calling on the Ontario government to shut down Marineland. It follows news that 2 more of its beluga whales died this month. That brings the total number of whale deaths to 17 since 2019 at the Niagara Falls tourist attraction. Ontario's Animal Welfare Services have been investigating the park since 2020. A statement from Marineland says both whales died due to an abnormal twisting of the stomach. A dolphin, 2 seals, and 2 sea lions have also died during the same time period. For more on this, I'm joined now by Melissa Matlow. She is the World Animal Protection Campaign Director, and she joins me tonight in studio. So, 17 belugas dead since 2019. What do you make of today's news?
That's an alarming number of animal deaths in such a short amount of time. This is heartbreaking news. I'm really sad about it, and I'm also frustrated because what does it take to shut this place down?
And I guess that is the question right now, right? Like, what does it take? So many people have been expressing their outrage on social media about this. I want to read a statement. I've referred to the statement from Marineland. It says, quote, "All the whales are under constant weekly supervision and oversight by the government regulator and cared for daily by in-house vets and numerous external consultants." They add that the reality is that all animals eventually die from one cause or another, whether in the wild or in captivity. What's your response to that?
Well, sure, all animals die at some point, but we haven't heard of anything like this, where 16 belugas, 1 orca, on top of many other types of animals that have suffered, have died in a short amount of time. This is a facility that has faced widespread criticism from not only local residents, but people around the world. There have been many cases of animal cruelty there over the years. Yeah. It hasn't improved when asked by enforcement officers to improve. It regularly flouts the law. I think enough is enough. It's time to close it down.
Your group has been following this closely for years. Yeah. What are the conditions like in Marineland for these animals?
I mean, if you're talking about a beluga whale, at one point Marineland had nearly 50 beluga whales. In small concrete chlorinated tanks next to roller coasters and a highway. You don't need to be a marine mammal welfare expert to know there's something wrong with that. That's far too many animals. And the reason why the situation has gotten this bad is because Ontario is the only jurisdiction in Canada that doesn't have proper proactive zoo licensing in place. They never should have been allowed to have that many animals in a confined space.
If you're of a certain age, you remember those kind of iconic commercials, the tagline, "Everyone loves Marineland." In your opinion, where is the public on this issue, and has opinion shifted in recent years?
Absolutely. We've been doing polling every couple of years, and we've seen every year on year that it's constantly declining, the acceptance of these types of activities. And also, there was a big shift when Canada in 2019 banned the keeping of whales, dolphins, and porpoises in captivity because they knew Canadians were not for it. So there's the one question of, should these animals be kept in the first place? Even if it's the best aquarium, we know the best aquarium in the world isn't big enough for such a large, vast roaming, deep diving, social and highly intelligent animal like a beluga whale. But now the question is, what about a facility that's constantly having issues? How can they be allowed to operate this season?
Right. And so what do you want to see the government do here? Is it failed legislation at this point? Who is responsible beyond just Marineland? Obviously, you think the government needs to intervene.
Yes, absolutely. This falls on the Solicitor General of Ontario, Michael Kersner, so we strongly encourage him to step in to help the transfer of these animals. And ultimately, we need to pass comprehensive proactive zoo regulations to prevent a situation like this happening again.
Do you fear that more animals are going to die if action isn't taken immediately?
I do. I absolutely do. And it's not just their death, it's what conditions they're in and suffering daily. And if it gets to that, it's their daily conditions too.
Okay. Melissa, I've got to leave it there for now. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
That is Melissa Matlow, the World Animal Protection Campaign Director.